Welcome everyone, all your listeners. You guys are listening to your NBA finalist, runners up.
Yeah, come on now.
That sounds nice. Who would have thought? If you would have told me at the beginning of the season we were gonna be runners up, I would have called you stupid. Um, so hey, we made it. Little post talk of the NBA finals. We'll go full swing MOB Rangers in this podcast. If they do ever decide to go full swing, because at this point I don't know what the hell they're doing. So we gotta focus on them now, sadly. But if you guys are here, you guys are at the right spot. Austin Ollie Sports Podcast, presented to you by Belly Up Sports, with your people, Ollie and Austin.
Yes,
So
sir, guys. Welcome
Austin,
back.
you
Feels
wanna
good to be back.
plug some socials? Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good to be back. Feels good to be kind of, I think we're starting to get back into routine, kind of like regularly scheduled program, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No big crazy sporting events going on, which is cool. Just a little bit of our bread and butter, I feel like Rangers,
Yeah.
until the Cowboys get back, which I don't know if we even gonna
Uh,
want to talk about that. But
uh.
anyway, yes, our socials. Make sure you guys check us out on Instagram at Austin_and_Ollie. On TikTok at Austin Ollie, all one word. Twitter, which I just seen a couple tweets pop off from our Twitter account today. So that's getting back under motion.
Okay.
And that is at Austin_and_Ollie. Um, and I think that's it. Make sure you also subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We're all on all podcast platforms, so make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button on YouTube. Subscribe there. Be a friend, tell a friend. Make sure that share us, do all that stuff. So we appreciate you guys rocking with us for sure. It feels good to kind of be back. I think we're gonna get a little bit more into it now that we're not watching games that are of vital importance every 2 days or something of that nature.
Oh, I'm
Um,
saving so much more money.
yeah,
You
yeah,
probably, because you were staying at home. I mean, you probably saw a couple games in there every now and then out, but yeah, I was out for almost
almost
every single
everyone.
NBA Finals game, or I mean playoff atmosphere. I like going to Boomer Jacks. Boomers, if you guys are aware of one. I
Yep.
thought it was like a worldwide thing, but it's just like a DFW thing, Texas kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, Boomers was the spot to be at. We loved being there. Specials are crazy. But yeah, no, I was out every time. So the good thing I saw it is in. I was like, you know what? We didn't get swept, which was good.
Yep.
I think we got humbled. We got our bells rung a little bit. We really thought these Mavericks had a chance, and I blame you, Austin. There's no one else to blame but you.
Yeah, I think that's on me. I feel like I got the hopes up.
Yeah.
But honestly, I kind of blame the Mavericks for taking care of Minnesota in five. I feel like that we were riding high,
Oh,
and
most definitely.
yeah, so I'm gonna blame it on them. It was a fun ride. I think we'll get into it later. But it was a lot more than I feel like both of us were expecting for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, a little weekend recap. What did you get into this weekend? What do you get into?
God, it feels like so forever ago now. Middle of the week. Friday. Oh, Friday. I mean, we watched the Mavs game. I was at a friend's house. Cause one of my homeboys was leaving to Cali. He's going out to live there,
Mm,
so we just kind of celebrated a little bit for him. Drank a little bit.
hey,
Definitely might have had too much to drink, but it's okay.
grab the keys.
Saturday. What's that?
You grab the keys.
Oh, I got the key. Actually, no, I didn't drive. Actually, no. I was
Mhm.
responsible. I was
There you
responsible.
go. Good for
The
you.
keys were not talking to me. Yeah, exactly. As everyone should be, obviously. And they Saturday I didn't golf, so it felt like a long morning at least. Cause I went to bed and low key my stomach was like all sorts of messed up. I don't know what was going
Yo,
on
my
down there. I
stomach's
was
been
just like,
rumbling lately
oh
too, bro.
yeah. Like I woke up and I low key kind of felt it up coming back up, and I said, hell no, that's not what we about to do. I woke up like at 6, 7 in the morning, got me a glass of fucking water, chugged that shit, and just went back to bed. But then my family was heading out to Austin, so they kept a ruckus going on. So I
Of
stayed
course.
up, or I woke up like at 9:30, 10, which is kind of early. I mean, I know you guys bag on me about it, like you guys, Raul,
Yeah,
Eric. I mean, I'm own up to it. If I don't have to be up, I'm not gonna wake up.
you're a
I'm not gonna
sleeper.
wake up.
You're
No,
a
I'm a
sleeper.
sleeper. Oh, I sleep. I look forward to my sleep. Take it as you will, but I look forward to my sleep. So woke up like at 9:30, 10. I was like, hey, this is kind of nice. I had already gone to the gym 5 times that week. So I was like, why would I go six? Um,
Okay.
yeah. So I was like, no, I'm good. And then watched a bit of the Euros because that
As you
started.
should.
Maybe we'll get into that at the very end.
As you should.
And yeah, then I just went out. Went out to a little family function at night, and then Sunday I slept in. I slept in Sunday because I deserved it. I just went to church, stockyards for a little bit, which I thought was gonna be kind of packed because of Father's Day.
Oh yeah.
But it really wasn't. It really
Oh,
wasn't.
that's cool.
It was kind of dead. Yeah, it was nice, nice little vibe. It was hot,
Yeah, it
so
was hot on Sunday.
yeah, I
It
was able
was
to get
hot
in
on
the
Sunday.
pool, and like the pool, like how sometimes it takes you a little bit to like step in and like
Yeah,
not want to
yeah.
get cold. No,
You gotta get above the sun.
this one went
It was
straight to
rough.
it was warm. Like it was
Oh,
nice. You could easily
that's
just get
perfect.
into it. That just
I
shows
love
you
it.
how hot it was outside. So
That's big time.
now, yeah, that was
Yeah.
my weekend. What'd you do, big man?
Yeah, little chilled, a little. I think we went to dinner with M's family on Friday. Had a couple beers, watched the Mavs
There
game.
you
It
go.
was like riding high. Mario got me like two
Oh yeah.
margs. He got me two margs, and
Dog.
I was feeling good. I was feeling
You
good
were
on Friday. It
spinning?
was nice. Yeah, it was nice. Saturday, really not much, just chilled. I think I mowed the lawn. Really got
Nice.
after
Okay.
it. Got on my lawn shit, which was cool, and then fucking chilling. And Sunday, for Father's Day, cooked out for my dad and Mario, Emily's dad, which is cool. So got both sides of the family together, which was
Oh
fun.
yeah.
So kind of
Mm.
hung out, was grilling, on my like, feel like I was like a real man this weekend. It was pretty nice.
Okay.
It was nice.
Okay.
I was like, hey,
Yeah.
I was
About
whipping it
time.
up. Little
About time.
fajitas, a little tablitas action, some glizzies. We
Eesh.
were working out there. So,
Hell yeah.
but yeah, man, that was pretty much it. I think you ready to talk little Mavs, little kind of round out the season.
Yeah, I mean, let's just get into it. Let's just rip the band-aid off.
Yeah.
We tried over it a
Yeah.
little bit, 7 minutes in, but yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So, if you
Yeah.
guys have been living under a rock, your Dallas Mavericks, or whoever you're a fan of, but it looks like the whole side was with us. Everybody was against Boston except for Boston, losing five, a little gentleman sweep, which I appreciate. Add to the agenda. Luka has never gotten swept in the playoffs. Keep that going. They made us believe a little bit. Everyone changed their profile pictures to Luca with the
Yeah.
headphones on.
Yeah.
Absolutely everyone. It took over. That was kind of fun to be a part of, for everyone to back that up. And it just wasn't enough. Kyrie still can't beat Boston after his trade. I mean, everyone was just kind of stinking it up. I can't say there's nothing much. I mean, and Boston deserved to win. There's no
Yeah.
surprise. It helps out a lot that a lot of people don't think that Tatum is not even remotely close to Luca. That's what I was afraid of, because Luca literally had to see him get the ring, and he's not even the best player on his team. So I'm happy. I'm happy. I mean, it was fun. We did it. Cool. Would have been nice to win, obviously. It did feel a little like not finals like, I guess. I don't know why. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think it was kind of it
As
felt
in, it was super
anticlimactic.
lopsided. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, because this Boston team is ridiculous, and you can kind of compare it to, we probably have some soccer fans with the whole Manchester City thing, and funny thing that Pep Guardiola was actually at that game.
Like yeah,
And
and he was like I think he helped set up their defense with Joe Mazzulla. Like they were
supposedly,
like
yeah,
they
they're like, yeah, they spaced it out and stuff like that. And I was
yeah.
just like, holy shit, okay, like this guy haunts me in the Premier League, and decides to come over and like see that my team hasn't made the finals in over 13 years, and goes, let me help the other team out. So I can't just get away from that bald fuck, and it pissed me off a little bit. So I mean, they were the better team. They're just a damn good basketball team. Like, what can you say? They're favorites for a reason. They
Yep.
went on a what? How many wins do you need to win?
They won
Whatever.
16. I think they went
16 and 2.
16 and 3. 16 and 3
Mm-hmm.
because they lost.
Yeah, 16 and 3. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They had one sweep.
Right?
Yeah, they went 16 and 3. They had one sweep and then
Yeah, they lost
they
to Miami
won
1, Pacers 1, and then
and then they
us 1.
swept Cleveland.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, I mean, it's a damn good basketball team. Clearly, Tatum didn't have to do what he had to do. He doesn't have to be the best player on his team. He just has to do what his team needs him to do, and he damn did that. And he also copied every single phrase in the book. Everyone thinks he's corny. Everyone hates Tatum. I mean, you lost, but like,
yeah,
hey,
at what?
you did it.
Yeah,
You did
I
it.
think and
That was my
I think
opinion on it.
the way I look at it is, I mean, going into the playoffs, you and I both said like one playoff series win is what we were
Yeah.
expecting. Anything after
Mhm.
that was to me was icing on the cake. Obviously, like
Oh
you get
yeah.
caught up as a fan and you want to be you have confidence and you see your team playing one like, oh yeah, like why not us? Why can't we win? Um, Obviously, right, like Rangers had just won the World Series, and they were kind of a similar team that like they just got hot at the right time.
Mm,
Stars were hot at the right time. Mavs, I mean, since February, they just got hot, and they were a fun team to watch. And really, like to me, I take solace in the fact that like we weren't expected to go to the finals. I mean, we were the 5 seed, and en route to the finals, we beat the 4 seed, the 3 seed, and the 1 seed in the West.
yep.
And so we clearly like deserved to be there. And ultimately, right, like we just got beat. Like Boston's a better team. I said it I think last episode, like who am I afraid of? Like, or 2 episodes ago, like who am I afraid of? Like, does Boston have a killer? Like they're a team full of killers. Like they played great defense. Um, and ultimately, like they just are. They're such a deep team when it comes to like high quality players. Um, to where like I mean, it doesn't have to be Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown that beat you. Like it can be Kristaps like game one. It can be Drew Holiday. I think what was it game
Drew
two.
Holiday. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jalen Brown didn't even need to really have a great offensive side, but he was still Finals MVP because he said, "I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna take Luca, 92 feet or however long. Like I'm gonna pick Luca up from the start, and if he's gonna
Yep.
beat me, he's gonna beat me like in my face the entire game." And it's just when you have that, it makes it super super hard to beat a team. And so, the way that I can look at it is I think we're ahead of schedule, the Mavericks. I mean,
Oh
Luca's
yeah.
21 or 25. He is, really cementing himself as somebody that can genuinely, is in a top two, top three player in the world. He can probably go on to win MVP next year if he's going to get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, like we actually have a team around him that can allow him that can win basketball games without him having to exert, you know, 38 to 40 minutes a night in regular season basketball in January, which is what he was having to do this year because of all the injuries. Like Kyrie was hurt. Tim Hardaway was his second option, probably 25% of the season, and Tim Hardaway wasn't even
Mm-hmm.
in rotation in the playoffs. You have somebody like Derek Lively that has just like made this team instantly better and is 20 years old and just improving night in, night out, and was such a big part of our success in the playoffs. Um, you traded for two guys like Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington that are just only going to get better within the system. They're only going to gel. They're only going to fit better. And ultimately, right, like I think that it's just gonna really the only major piece that isn't contracted for next year is Derek Jones Jr. And he's
Yep.
already said that he wants to come back and he's willing to do so. So, I mean, I think that ultimately we're not losing anybody and we can only get better and only progress. So yeah, I'm excited for next year. I think that we have to expect to be a top 2 or 3 seed next year with the hopes of, let's let's really go for it and try to win it. So yeah, man, overall season in review, like I'm excited. I feel good about it. Um, is there any other big takeaways that you have from the season?
I mean, just how proud you gotta be of these guys to even make it this far.
Yep.
I mean, finals is crazy. Call it what you want. It's kind of hard to kind of compare it to baseball. Like you can see like that with getting hot at the right time, but it shows you in the finals. I mean, more than half the time, the better team's gonna win.
Yep.
I mean, it was pretty lopsided as you can tell. I mean, overall, I mean, yeah, say the East is whatever how weak it is, which it is. And they had to go through this easy ass path of everyone being hurt, go down the list, and but still, I mean, they were clear. I mean, they won however many games they did, and it's still better than any team on the West. But for your Dallas Mavericks to get out of this West, I mean,
Yeah.
it's insane run, insane run. You go through Kawhi. I mean, obviously have Kawhi and the Clippers.
Yeah.
You go through the Clippers that have had your number the last couple seasons. Every time you go to playoffs, you somehow always face them. You had OKC. Everyone was healthy on that team. Number one seed. Everyone's young. Everyone. I mean, everyone's talking about him. And they have Shea,
Yep.
an MVP candidate, and they have a really good team, role players. Exactly right. And you go to Minnesota and you beat them in 5 with the next, aka Michael Jordan, or they want to say Michael Jordan out there, and you shut them down. You have a depoy in Rudy Gobert, make him look silly, nothing new. You got Cat that you make him unplayable almost and they had Niles Reed, they had all these guys, and you still beat them. I mean, you went through this crazy ass West, and I mean, the West is gonna be fun to watch for a long, long time. It always has
Yeah.
been. It's gonna stay like that for a while. I mean, the league's in good hands, so you can't be upset with this Mavs team. And then it kind of you can be mad that it took Luka this long to. I mean, yes, the defensive struggles is annoying. The compilations of him not playing defense, just basically being a cone out there, is frustrating. Him not being in shape is frustrating. He also did go through a lot. I don't want to use excuse with the injuries case, but he needs to
Yeah.
rest. Hopefully he doesn't
I
go to the
think I
Olympics. I
think
really hope he doesn't.
yeah, I think that ultimately like I kind of have for him the not being in shape. I kind of give him a pass, at least in the playoffs in the back half of the season,
Hmm.
because I think if you remember like way back when the season started, like we started off so hot. I think we were what like 9-2, 9-3 at one point,
Yeah. We started really good.
and that was when we saw Luca was more conditioned than he's ever been. He was in better shape than he'd ever been. He had hired a nutritionist. Like he was getting his shit together, and he was conditioned and looked good. But ultimately, like the whole back half of the season, he was playing 38 to 40 minutes a night. He was battling injuries. I mean, with a knee issue, a back issue, a ankle issue, and then kind of going on to the playoffs with the chest rib thing. Like
Yep.
it's so hard to stay in condition when you're really only conditioning that you're getting is from the games because you're not spending time lifting, you're not spending time conditioning, you're spending time
Yeah.
rehabbing. And so whenever somebody like Luka is such a high portion or an important portion of your offense, like obviously that's a more important piece of his game. And you're right, like we would like to see him show a little bit more effort on defense, but I almost give him a pass because like he was doing everything that he could do. And if he was going to be a passer on defense to, hit that game winning shot over Rudy Gobert in clutch time and to do, like game 4, he was amazing in the finals. Like it just is what it is. And
Hmm.
ultimately, like you would just hope that the rest of the people around him like stepped up to kind of cover it. But I mean, it's unfair to
Yeah.
ask, but it's also understandable that
Yeah.
like there were multiple times, especially during the Oklahoma City series where they said like he would be sitting for 2 weeks if it wasn't the playoffs. But here he is playing night in, night out, playing 40 minutes. So,
Hmm. Yeah. No, it's something to be. I mean, like again, I don't know how many times I could say it, but you gotta be proud of this team to make it this far again
yeah.
in the West, and kind of forget how young this team is. And we mentioned it time in, time out of how. I mean, no one really has to resign. Like everyone's kind of set in stone for a while.
Yep.
With the guys you just acquired, PJ Washington, um, Daniel Gafford. I mean, everyone. And then now the only guy you have to worry about is Derrick Jones Jr. That, I mean, you already said it, is likely to come back. He wants to come back. So, and then you just have to bring someone in. You got to hopefully find some trade pieces, some trade value in Tim Hardaway,
I
Maxi
would say
Kleber. I
even
know he's your
Maxi.
guy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
I
Maxi's
think
your
I
guy,
think
knowing like there was on and off throughout the whole season. Did have a good stretch of basketball,
he
but
did.
the whole shoulder thing kind of fucked him up. Obviously, he fucked up his shooting, and clearly that's what he's in for. Is just some 3-and-D. Really, basically, is what he's out there
Yep.
to do. But again, I mean, this team is super young. Your
Yep.
oldest guy is 34 years old, Markieff Morris on the bench,
Yep.
and then 32 years old, and Dwight Powell, Kyrie Irving,
I
Tim
think
Hardaway
Maxi's
Jr.
I think Maxi's what 30,
Yeah,
31,
Maxi,
32.
32 as well. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this team is young, and I'm kind of upset that Jalen Hardy didn't get as much time as he should have in the finals because we saw it
Yeah.
a lot in the Western Conference Finals. But he's gonna be a great ball handler. I mean, we
And
did see
I
a
think
couple of
that
turnovers on his end on the final
yeah, and
during the
I think that
finals.
ultimately next year, like assuming this offseason, which we can kind of progress to like what we're expecting for the offseason.
Hmm.
This offseason, like I think all signs are pointing to Tim Hardaway Jr. getting traded.
Oh yeah.
Like he's making $16 million. He really didn't get any time in the playoffs. Like it's kind of obvious that like towards the end of I think starting in the Oklahoma City series, like Jason Kidd just clearly just preferred Jaden Hardy to Tim Hardaway, and it is
Yeah.
what it is, right?
Hmm.
Like, and I think we were kind of asking for it because I mean it's crazy to think about. Like Tim Hardaway averaged 16 points a game this year, and you're not getting anything in return in the playoffs of that guy. So I wouldn't be surprised if we traded him with. There's rumors that maybe trade him in the last pick of the draft, which we have for an early second round pick to Detroit. Because I think Detroit like has always kind of floated with him, and they have a ton of cap space. So maybe we get 31, which would be cool, and pick somebody with that. And ultimately, that
Mm-hmm.
would allow Jaden Hardy to kind of develop and take Tim Hardaway's minutes. So maybe if we can get Jaden Hardy
Oh
to
yeah.
average, 8 to 10 next season would be nice. But also, we could take that money and try to get somebody like a Matisse Thybulle in Portland, which is a great like 3-and-D guy.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't really had good time with Portland, but was really good in like
And he was
2020.
he was rumored to come here too. No, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah, he was really good in
Yeah.
2020 with Philadelphia, and then last season, I think in the summer, he signed an offer sheet with us, and then ultimately it was because he was restricted free agent, so he signed an offer sheet with us, and then that was matched by Philadelphia, who kept him, and then
Yeah.
ultimately traded him to Portland. So, like somebody like that could be a good piece. And so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we could do, and I think that ultimately that we can make the team better. Um, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw somebody like Maxi get dealt
Yeah.
as well, because I think he's making $11 million, and I mean, truthfully, there's better guys on the team that I'd rather see get those minutes. So maybe we could find an upgrade
Mm-hmm.
with there. I mean, you could package. I think between Max, I was looking at it today. I think between Maxi and Tim Hardaway, it's like $27 million that you could trade. So maybe we look to trade. I mean, I don't think we have the assets to do it, but Laurie Markkinen would look so sick on this team.
Oh, stop, stop,
Yeah,
stop.
like that's. I think that's completely out of the realm,
That'd be
but
insane. Like I think that's like your
that's a dream
dream
scenario
pick,
to me.
your dream
That's a
trade.
dream
Yeah, that's your
scenario to
dream
me.
scenario. Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know,
He's
man. Like
he's
it'd
so
be cool.
athletic. He's so athletic.
Yeah, athletic. He can shoot. He's big. He can play defense too because he won't be he'll be option three on this team. Like I mean, think about I mean, to me, like it'd be thinking about the Cavs big three with the last LeBron era there. Like he'd basically just be
Mm-hmm.
taking Kevin Love's place. Like average 16, 18 points a year, 16, 18 points a game. 10-ish rebounds, play good defense, pass the ball, be there in space. Like Laurie would be a great piece, which I just
Oh yeah.
I don't know if the Mavs have the ability to do that with what they have tradable. I mean, to
Yeah. I
me,
mean,
like that,
we'll
you'd
see. I
have to give
mean,
up
yeah.
somebody. Yeah, you'd have to give up somebody like a Jaden Hardy, Josh Green kind of deal that has some sort of upside to do it. Which I mean, maybe it's worth it. Truthfully,
I
maybe
mean,
it's
if you
worth
tell me
it.
right now, that it costs you, because I know last year it did take us with, it was kind of Jalen Hardy, Josh Green were in the mix of things.
Yeah,
I mean, if you keep Dante Exum, he's another ball handler that,
yeah,
I mean, he gained his confidence again towards the end of playoffs.
yep. He got
He
better. He
lost a
was,
little bit. Yeah, he lost a lot of his confidence. It just shows you how a big side of the game that kind of gets forgotten is mental,
yep,
especially in the biggest stage of all of it. So, I mean, you keep Dante Exum, he's another ball handler. I mean, averages to you whatever he averages, 6 to 8 points, maybe six, probably 6'5" if being realistic.
yeah,
And you get Laurie and you get rid of Jaden Hardy. I would not be opposed to that. That'd
yeah. I
be
wouldn't either, man.
insane. It'd be insane. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and say we keep our second round pick, get
Oh, that's
Bronny
a whole other
James,
story. Yeah.
James.
I mean, if it's the Bronny for Braun, I'm taking that every day.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I think there's a lot that this team could do to get better, and I think ultimately they're just gonna get better because,
Yeah,
like I said,
and
this team is
got to get better.
they've had I think they had 25 regular season games and then what 19 or so games in the playoffs,
Oh
20
yeah,
games in the
future's bright.
playoffs.
I mean,
Yeah.
if they're runners up in the finals, and not even a whole year of this squad that's looking really good,
Yep.
I can't even imagine what a full offseason is of a full season together, and you're only gonna make this team better.
Yep.
Like there's no scenario that I see that Nico and even the new owners, since Mark Cuban's officially I think out of everything now, so he has nothing to do with anything. He's just another like stakeholder I
Another
think
guy.
is what he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just don't see how you get to the finals, and it's not like some like your neighbors on the other side with the Dallas Cowboys where they just sit on their fucking ass, sit on their hands
No,
and
like they
shit.
make moves.
Yeah, they make moves. So like I'm just excited to see. I mean, all the rumors are gonna be happening, everything that's gonna transpire, and there's just no way you go back and then you see through what you did this season and not want to get better and it might be a risky move. I mean, you already saw it happen once with the whole Kyrie situation. Everyone didn't like that. So
Yeah, and it's played out.
yeah, they have something in store for us, and I'm excited for it. If you're a Mavs fan, like this should be an exciting time of basketball. You're getting into, I want to say Luka Prime, even though he's
Yeah.
just been insane every time. He just keeps getting better and better and better. he's getting close to that MVP. I really hope next year's the year. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people comparing it to Dirk. I think this was Luka's, what, 7th year?
He was drafted in 18, so I think it was a sixth.
Sixth, I think, and I think Dirk made it to the final, his first finals, either 6 or 7 years too, like roughly around there. So
Yeah,
kind of on the
that's
same
pretty
path from what I was hearing. So, I mean, it's exciting times right now. I mean,
cool.
yeah, be upset, let it hit, let it sting, let it hurt. Just like
But
Miami did in
to me,
06.
it's
And then,
I think
yeah.
it's a completely different upset than how we were when the Cowboys got eliminated. It's like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not like when the Cowboys got eliminated, it was more anger and like
Yeah.
it was just like disgusting. But it was like this is like
Mm-hmm.
like they kind of at least they made us proud. So that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
No,
think we
you
got a
should
bright
be. There's
future ahead of
nothing.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we got a bright
Absolutely.
future ahead.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that's Mavs talk. You got any? I think I'm sure we'll get some stories as the draft is coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll kind of hear a little bit about that, and I'm sure we'll hear some stories on a little bit of off-season trade news and free agent signings and stuff like that. That'll kind of get sprinkled in
Yeah.
here and there. So
Because we don't have the first round pick, do we? Right?
no, so
Which is
yeah,
work.
we don't have a first, and that's still from the Kristaps trade.
Yep.
But then officially that's paid off. And then we have the 60th overall pick, or 58th technically, which is the last pick of the draft, in the second round. So we have that, so we'll see where that
Okay.
goes.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. So we'll keep in touch with that.
That's Mavs talk. I think we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break to acknowledge our sponsors, and we will be right back.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, we can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
And that is that. Thank you guys so much to our fantastic sponsors for helping us do what we do. And now, pivoting from a kind of a high point to a low point in your Texas Rangers. So Ollie, take it away. A little Ollie and outfield. Kind of give us a little rundown what's going on with the Rangers, and then a little bit outside of the Rangers.
Yeah. Guys, there's nothing going on now. I mean, you can get excited for football if you want. I'm just not going to. Until season starts, obviously I'll watch them. I'll root for them. Come on, clearly. Don't get me wrong. But there's nothing else going on unless you're a soccer fan. I mean, Euros started this past weekend, and you have Copa America about to start. Yeah.
I guess today, yeah. Today.
So, yeah, I guess today. Once you're listening to Copa America starts today, so you got some sports to watch. But if you're not a soccer fan, I mean, your Texas Rangers or MLB is the only thing that's going on right now. And yeah, to like kind of like preview a little bit of it. I mean, even star players are getting hurt. Mookie Betts is out 6 to 8 weeks. Fractured his hand. Pitched to the, it was like 90 something to the wrist. Very next game also, Aaron Judge gets hit too. But thankfully nothing happens to him as the Yankees keep tearing it up. But stay with the Rangers. Where have the Rangers gone wrong? I mean, I've said it multiple times. Everyone's worry was the pitching staff. But your pitching was absolutely dominant for a while. I think they went 16 straight games with starters getting quality starts.
Yeah.
Which is massive.
Crazy.
Massive. And that's without Scherzer, Malley, DeGrom,
Spores, Cody Bradford.
So yeah, it's all your starters in that case. But yeah, I mean, you're doing all this without. I mean, you just have guys step up. Kevin Heaney come up. John Gray got hurt every now and then. He came back and he finally got shelled. He was tipping a little bit of his pitches that we can roughly talk about that on Monday. They started a series with the Mets. I was watching that. I was excited because it was John Gray's first actual start back. He did come out the bullpen once or twice to get some pitches in, and then they finally liked it, so they finally threw him in the rotation. And, I mean, he got absolutely shelled. I forgot how many singles he gave up.
It was
And
bad.
in the very first, in the very first inning, I was watching it live. The little bit of times that I've been watching live, but I'm excited to start watching them again. Is that right after it was in the first inning, Francisco Lindor crosses home plate and he directly goes to, forgot who was batting, and he like gives him like a very long talk about what he's seeing. As what I got from the get go, I was like, he's telling what they're seeing in John Gray. Like he's he's tipping his pitches in some way, some form, and clearly he did. It was a very, very, very rough outing, especially for the Rangers.
I mean,
He 22 hits, lost. Yeah.
John Gray, 3 innings pitched, 11 hits, 9 earned, with 2 strikeouts in 55 pitches. But crazy, that outing, his ERA only went up to 3.31.
And what was it before? Do you know? It was like 2 something, right?
I don't know what it was before. I'll have to look at it, but
he was having an all-star season. I'm not gonna lie to you, he was having an all-star season.
Yeah.
That just shows you how good he's been, and how fluky obviously this was. They even asked him about it afterwards and said, "Hey, like, what happened?" He was like, I'm pretty sure I was tipping my pitches. Like, I don't know what I was doing, but they read me, they got me. It's like it's kind of easier when you're pitching when they don't know what's coming. He goes, I know I have good stuff. So that's what I liked about him. Usually he's usually pretty hard on himself, but I'm glad that he was the type of like, he said, no, like I know my stuff is good, but it's a lot easier to pitch when they don't know what's coming. And he said, they clearly know what was coming. So he was doing, I don't know what it was. Could also been Sam Huff. It was Sam Huff behind the dish because Chaim was having a kid. I think he was on paternity leave.
Yeah, he's on paternity leave.
Yeah, he's having a kid. So, I mean, you have to switch from Kisner at catcher that can't hit with, he couldn't hit the water if you wanted to. And then you have Sam Huff come up, another prospect that we've heard in and out every now and then. It could have been him too. You don't forget that the catcher is also calling the game. So, but that was that. I mean, they're playing the Mets currently right now. Mets are on a crazy run since the Grimace whole thing. I know you guys have seen it. Ever since Grimace threw out the first pitch, they have been undefeated. And then also heard another crazy stat because for some reason I was watching the Mets broadcast because that's the only one I had. So Francisco Alvarez, catcher for the New York Mets, the second year. He had 25 homers last year. He's an absolute dog. I only really know of him because his MLB The Show card absolutely fucking rakes. But this year so far, I think he had started 16. I want to say from yesterday's game, he had started 16 games behind the dish, and the Mets had won 15 of them this year. But he's also been hurt. So he just came back on the starting lineup this series, and they won again yesterday. So, I mean, he's been obviously calling a really good game, and he even got an RBI last game, or the one before. So, but that's that. Injury check-in, and kid you not, we have, 8 full points here on showing how everyone's injured. So, I mean, we got Max Scherzer. Big Dog is back, as Austin put in all caps. I hope you're right. Yeah. He is rumored to start on Saturday versus Kansas City. I don't think we really even... I don't know if it's just been too long, but I don't remember seeing a really good outing from Scherzer in a Ranger uniform, if I'm being honest.
Because we got him at the deadline, right?
The deadline. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was pitching all right. He was pitching all right before he got hurt, and then he tried to rush back for the postseason. It didn't work out.
Yeah, and I mean he's not someone to throw heat. We know this. He's just got command and stuff, and so I mean excited to get that back and just get your bullpen healthier. Josh Sborz was a rehab in AAA. 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk. Josh Young, because seeing all this pitching news about people coming back, obviously on a pitching staff that's already doing pretty well, obviously helps getting better. I mean, why not? You're not going to take more if you can't. And then you have what's been struggle. Well, the reason why your Texas Rangers haven't won games, because ask Lorenzen, one of your new acquired additions that you got late in the season. He's 3-6, but he has a 2.8 ERA.
Yeah,
and he just has the worst run support ever. I don't know what he did to the Rangers, but they just do not want to score when he's pitching. He's having an all-star year again.
Yeah, he's been really good. He was really good last night.
He was really good last night. And then you finally get runs scored up. We put up what, 6? You're up 6-2 or 7. No, 6. You're up 6-2.
6-2.
You're up 6-2. And then Austin's guy, he's claiming him, Jose Leclerc, comes in and just throws the fucking game away. And then Robertson, he's been having a crazy year too. A little bit to last week, he struck out Shohei, Mookie, Freddie Freeman, back-to-back nights, all consecutively.
Yeah.
First time that's ever happened, and he did it twice. It was so nice he did it twice. He comes in, he gives up the run too, but I mean that should have been over. I don't know if you're watching. Corey Seager had an error. It was a double play to end the inning, and that continued the inning, and that's how game just kind of blew open. So yeah, you finally score those runs, and then your pitching doesn't pull up for you. So that just shows you how the Rangers season has been going this year so far. I really haven't paid too much attention to it, but it looks like I don't want to say last year was a fluke, but you look at everyone had career years last year.
Yeah.
Leody Taveras was batting absolutely insane, and now he's like in the Mendoza line, which is batting 200. He's close to 200, about to be under that. Josh Smith this year stepped up. He's doing amazing right now. I think he was like top 8 in batting average. He got a homer yesterday.
Yeah, he's over 300. Yeah, he's over 300.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing really good and stepping up. But yeah, I mean, we talked about it last year. Like, how sustainable is it? Because you had all these guys having career years. Jonah Heim, slow start. Nathaniel Lowe had a good start to coming through injury, but now is back on slow.
Yep.
Adolis Garcia saw a stat today, 8 hits in his last 68 at bats.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good. There's no pop. No one's really homering. I mean, Seager went on a really good stretch of games. He's been kind of hurt a little bit. Took a little bit of rest in L.A. He came in, got a game-winning homer, and just sat back down again. Lovely. And then you go out to L.A., back to last week. You go to L.A., and you win the series there. You get 2-1. You win 2 out of 3. Awesome. Go to Seattle, you get swept.
Didn't we only score? No, we never scored more than 3 runs in LA too.
No, I think we got outscored because we gave up 14 in the first game total. We got outscored 8 to 20 something, and you won the series.
Yeah, it's crazy
because your pitching was absolutely insane.
Yeah,
because it said your offense said, okay, you're gonna give up only 2, we're gonna put up 3 for you. Better not make sure it's 1 and 2. But even then, that's not enough. So
yeah.
Just to kind of recap everything, obviously you have injuries, players are coming back. Josh Young, someone that you need as an offensive player. Tyler Malley threw bullpen today, kind of easy to forget because he was acquired, but he was already recovering. Yeah, Evan Carter is going to Arizona next week to start a hitting program. He was having a really, really rocky start this year. So has everyone. Justin Foscue is in the ACL, Arizona Complex League. He's batting .412 with a .524 OBP and .765 slugging. So that's exciting because he came in, roped in a hit against Josh Hader, and then
he pulled his oblique?
He got hurt. He got hurt off that. Yeah, it was his first base hit. I think he had maybe 3 or 4 major league at bats. So, I mean, that's another guy to get in, and then once everyone gets healthy, it's gonna find a way to keep White out there. He finally got his first home run yesterday. That was exciting. A legit home run. Yep. He's getting his pop out there. And just trying to keep when Josh Young comes back, trying to find a way to keep Josh Smith in the mix of things because you have to. Find a way to get Leody out too. I mean, you saw it today.
Well, yeah, I mean today, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, today, right? Wyatt Langford's playing center. Wouldn't be surprised if they keep him as center or put Evan Carter in left or vice versa.
Yeah.
So
you have Robert Grossman starting for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, we're not. I mean, we're 33 and 40 right now, and we're in a tie ball game going into the 7th, I think. So
3-3.
At this point, might as well play the young guys. Let Josh Young get reps. Put Evan Carter in and make him play as an everyday starter and make him bat against lefties to figure it out and to figure out hitting lefties because he hasn't shown that he can do it yet. I think ultimately, right, get Josh Smith reps, and maybe I think we kind of talked about it. Maybe it's time to see if we got somebody else at first. If Nathaniel Lowe isn't just can't hit. I mean, I know we trained. I think Foscue in spring training kind of worked at some time in first, so maybe we get him in first. Get an outfield of Evan Carter, Wyatt Langford, Adolis, and put Josh Smith at DH or something like that, or maybe put Josh Young at DH and let him just only hit and keep Josh Smith at third. So I mean, I feel like there's still enough time to turn it around, and if as long as we can get a stretch where we just keep guys healthy, like maybe we can actually turn around and start rattling off some wins. It would be nice, but the bats just really aren't there right now.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's super early. You still got a lot of games to play. You're about to be at the halfway point. All-Star break is less than a month from now.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. The Astros, as of right now, just overtook your spot in the standings, but you guys are both 9.5 games behind Seattle. Yeah, both are bad. And you're so far behind from the wild card too. You're 7.5 games behind from the wild card as of right now.
Yep.
So you got to try to catch Kansas City as of right now, and Boston.
That's crazy.
And you have Kansas City. You have Kansas City coming in this weekend. I mean, make fun of Kansas City, but they went out, acquired, starting pitching like a bitch this year. I don't know if you remember, they went crazy and got some really good pitching this year, and you were kind of like confused. I was very confused. I was like, I don't know why they're doing all this for. And I mean, you have Bobby Witt. I'm a huge fan of Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt's an absolute fucking dog.
He's been cooking.
He's a fucking dog. He's a dog. So and you still have Salvador Perez out there. You got Salvi out there. So, I mean, everyone that's exciting. So if you guys aren't really into baseball, I get it. But I'm excited to finally get back into it. Like, I really haven't been to that many games.
I like it.
Just because I mean, there was other things going on. Obviously, you had NBA Finals, you had NHL playoffs, all this stuff going on. So I'm excited to go back to some games. Actually, legit pay attention to these guys.
Yep.
And I'm just excited. I mean, they're only gonna get healthier. I think. Hopefully, knock on wood. Anything can happen.
It really can't get much worse than it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting better. Once Josh Young gets inserted to the lineup, and also, I mean, how we talked about with the NBA, the draft coming up, you also have trade deadline coming up for MLB. So, might be exciting to see what we do there. Do you keep Kirby Yates, who has been absolute dog for you closer-wise? What if you just get a good deal? I don't know. Buyers or sellers? As of right now, I mean, early. I
think right now we
buyers or
sell.
sellers.
You got to be a seller. Right now, you got to be a seller.
And especially with your relief pitching, because that comes in and out. I mean, Robertson was he was a part of a seller deal last year.
Yep.
He got let go, and I'm sure he's on a 1-year contract with us too. He's been having a really good year with us, so he might be on that point. I mean, you got to get offense right now. It's not pitching, because your pitching has been good. Your pitching has kept you in games. You just can't score. Your offense is absolutely terrible. It's god awful.
Well, that's fun. Exciting times.
Well, fun thing, actually, now that I look at it, I mean, I'm looking at the standings right now. I mean, this just shows you. Our offense is god-awful. It's actually second in the division in the AL West. You have outscored 12 runs. You've outscored the Seattle Mariners by 12 runs, the league leaders.
That's crazy.
But they've also only given up 282 because they have an insane pitching staff. They have one of the best pitching staffs in the MLB. I like Seattle. I'm not going to lie. I know they're in our division, but Seattle's exciting.
They're fun. No, they're a fun team.
You got J-Rod. You got George Kirby. You got A&M pitcher, Asian. I think his last name's Wu. That's the way I remember him. You have Luis Castillo. You have former Ranger World Series champ Mitch Garver out there.
Yep.
And you think about it, they keep Teoscar Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez was a Seattle Mariner last year, and he's absolutely tearing it up right now with the Dodgers. So, I don't know. I like Seattle. I remember when they had a stretch of good baseball the last 2 years. They kind of really underperformed last year until they had that really good September where they almost caught the Rangers. So, yeah, I'm glad it's them and not Houston. But, I mean, I'm over here talking shit about our offense, but, I mean, if you can't, our defense looks kind of bad too. 326, godly. But it just shows you how good the pitching has been in Seattle, and they don't really need to score that many runs. And they lead the division by 9.5 comfortably right now. So we'll see if anyone can make it interesting. Hopefully not the Astros. And,
also think about the Rangers played such a bad stretch of baseball in the middle of the year too last year.
Oh yeah.
So and
they have not gotten hot once.
Yeah.
So far this year.
Yeah, so let them get hot, let them string a couple games together. I think we'll be okay. So,
yeah,
that's
long season.
You got any more baseball talk, or is that pretty much it?
No, I mean, just stuff really quickly around. rest in peace to the GOAT, Willie Mays, passed away yesterday, 2 days ago, if you listen to it when we post this, at 93 during the Ranger game. To say, hey, kid, absolute dog. You know, I mean, a lot of people say that he might have been the best to ever play. So, just respects to him, homage to him. He was a dog. Good one's gone away. I think he was the oldest active Hall of Famer, I want to say, from what I heard. Cool. Yeah, so there's that. Garrett Cole should have started today or yesterday, if you're listening to it, for the Yankees. He's finally back, added to that lineup. That's already pretty good. Ben Rice also makes his MLB debut. He's a first baseman, I think / catcher too, for the Yankees prospect. He got called up because Rizzo is going to be out for a while, so they called him up. Yankees are a fun, exciting team right now with Soto, Verdugo, and Aaron Judge out there in the outfield. And Louis Gill. Yeah, Louis Gill, guy just came out of nowhere, absolute dog in it. I think he's a rookie. He's pitching very well. They have a really good pitching staff. Yankees might actually live up to their hype, live up to their name, and back to the pinstripes that we all know. But yeah, Ben Rice makes his MLB debut, and it's lovely. I don't know if you've seen any videos of him, but he roped his first hit, and he literally could not wipe the smile off his face. You see guys, try to act tough. He was just happy, man. He was living the Yankee. He was living the Yankee dream. I mean, think about it. I mean, you ask a lot of MLB players, and they're probably going to tell you, my dream would be to want to play for the Yankees. It takes a lot. It's almost like the Cowboys, kind of. You want to look at it. Fans are brutal. I mean, when you're high, they love you at your high. But when you're low, they're going to let you know.
They're going to let you know.
That you're low. They're going to let you know. But yeah, Ben Rice, I mean, I'm loving it. He's just a kid, and he's enjoying it, soaking in every moment. And how they do the roll call. I don't know if you're familiar with it yet. And then, so for his, they asked him, like, what he did because he, like, was eating, like, a bowl of rice is what he said. Because he was just eating off his gloves. So, like, what was the point of that? He's like, I just wanted to do something with my last name because, like, rice. So, like, they called my name, and I just started to look like I was eating rice. I was like, okay. So, I become a favorite of Ben Rice, first baseman for the New York Yankees.
That's awesome. So, that's fun.
Yeah. And then one last thing, keeping with the Yankees. I know it seems like we're talking so much about the Yankees. It was just funny. Dak was spotted with a Yankee jersey. Fans were not liking it. And I'm just like, fuck you, fans. You guys are pussies. Like, let him wear a fucking baseball jersey. Like, who cares? I mean, it's the Yankees, one of the biggest organizations.
Anything,
like, it's really, it's all fashion. It's just fashion.
It's more of a fashion thing than it was actually supporting them thing. I don't know. Maybe he's a Yankees fan.
And maybe he is.
He's been at so many Rangers games, it doesn't really matter.
I just thought it was funny that people really, I mean, that just shows you how slow it already got with media and just everyone. They're just trying to make something of like, oh, my quarterback was wearing a Yankee jersey. Get him out of here. And I'm just like, you guys are so fucking soft, man. Holy shit. I mean, y'all will just do anything.
I can't wait till the media machine comes back for the Cowboys. It's going to be...
Oh, baby. So close. So close. Trust me. So close.
It's going to be tough. But...
So close.
Yeah, man, that's fun. I feel like it's a good episode. You want to talk a little... you got anything to talk about in regards to Copa or Euros? Any quick thoughts? You want to be on the record about it? Be on the record who you think's going to
win? For each? Euros has been fun to watch. Some really good soccer. I've been seeing some absolute bangers. I haven't really watched much of them because they're during work. So I can only catch a little bit of the last. I'll watch the highlights every now and then. Or I'll hate watch. So Ronaldo hasn't scored or hasn't done anything. So that's fun. Portugal won't do shit. Belgium got bounced. Spain, Italy will be playing today as you're listening to it. So that'd be fun.
That's gonna be big.
Man, I think I had. Who did I have winning it? I forgot. I think Netherlands. I really like Netherlands.
That's I have the Netherlands. I think it's a dark horse.
They got dark horse. I mean, they have the guys for it. They've been always kind of competitive. They just always don't do it for some reason. So I like Netherlands. England seems too cliche, seems too good to be true, even though they have a good-ass squad.
I think Germany's been hooping.
Oh, Germany too.
It's in Germany too. They've been hooping. They've looked really good.
Germany looked really good. I mean, Cruz's last tournament, he's still dogging it up out there in the midfield. Yeah. You got Havertz, love him or hate him, been all right. Played good the first game. I think they played today, right? Germany played today.
Yeah, they won 2-0 over Hungary.
Musiala. Musiala.
Yeah, Musiala's been balling.
Fan favorite of his. I love him. He's insane. So yeah, just really good soccer all around. Copa America. If you're just gonna be, shit, it's not gonna be Mexico. I'll tell you that.
Nope.
I want to say Brazil, but I don't know. I just feel like they've been getting shat on, and I think Argentina is just like the easy one.
I like Uruguay.
Really?
I think
Yeah,
they've been playing good ball coming into it.
Yeah.
And then they
Suarez
got
is playing
Marcelo.
too, right?
Who?
Isn't
Suarez is playing. Yeah, Suarez is playing.
Yeah.
Their coach, they have Marcelo Bielsa, who he used to manage Leeds, was his most recent job. Then was some other places before that too. I think he was part of me says he was at Barca for a little bit, or maybe not, but I mean, he's a big manager. So I don't know. I mean, the midfield, I want to say the midfield of Uruguay is like crazy. It's
Valverde,
Bentancur from Spurs,
Oh yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Ugarte from PSG
Okay.
is a stud.
Yeah.
I don't know, they got good players. I mean, it's
yeah.
like
Mexico definitely boosted Darwin Nunez'
Yeah.
confidence. I'll tell you that.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Colombia's playing really good ball too. I mean, they just
I mean,
murdered
absolutely
US
smacked out of
5-1.
USA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think my final prediction I think I had Argentina and Uruguay, and I think I had Uruguay winning with
I like Uruguay. I'm not gonna lie. I like that.
yeah. And then I think I had the US and either Brazil or Colombia in the third place game, and I think whoever it was, Brazil or Colombia, was winning the third place game.
Oh,
I could see
okay.
Colombia because Colombia's been hooping,
Yeah.
but I think the best that the US could do is fourth, and I kind of think the same for Mexico. I think the best they could do is fourth. They'd have to kind of turn it around though, with what they've
Yeah. I
been
mean,
doing.
we'll see. I mean, I keep seeing all these old TikToks, and it's like kind of sad. It's like you never know what you have until it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's so true. I mean, to be honest, we were spoiled for a little bit. I mean, we still didn't. I mean, I think you capped out what you could have. I mean, you're always stopped by big European giants. I mean, you go back to the World Cup, Netherlands with penalty or not. Rafa Marquez
Yeah, it was
should have just
crazy.
not stepped in general. But you had the likes of Giovanni Dos Santos, Chicharito in his prime,
I mean,
Andres
even
Guardado, a fucking legend on this team.
yeah, I mean, even like Chucky was hooping in
No, don't even get me
2018.
started with Chuck. Yeah, I've been knowing he's been a fucking bum. I've been knowing that he was riding so high off that fucking Germany goal. Yeah, you know who
Germany
assisted that goal? Yeah, your goal, Javier Hernandez. Just letting you fucking know, the real goat that's been there forever. Jimenez not being able to play the way he was supposed to. Like he was gonna be a big contributor. I mean, in general, I mean, it's sad.
He had
I mean,
such a high,
nothing-
which was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nothing. That's something that could have been. I mean, he couldn't have. I mean, it just happened. It's sad. The injury's sad with the head injury. But yeah, it's just holy shit. Like we had it. I mean, even though we still can't get past the round of 16 curse.
Yep.
For Mexico, but man, you had it, Ochoa. I mean, finally, I think his time's finally done. Holy shit.
Yeah. And you can't even
right
get
now,
Malagón in there. You can't even get Malagón in there, which is like supposed to be the starter.
Yeah, I think supposedly he's hurt allegedly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's an America keeper, but Chivas stuff aside, he's a pretty damn good goalie. I would love him being our starting goalie, which I think he will be if he's healthy. But yeah, back to it. You see the people starting or the people called up, and what 97% from Liga MX.
Yep.
You have
And it's
Edson,
like every big
Luis
player
Romo, and I forgot who else. That's not playing.
Who's the guy that plays it? The guy that plays
Orbelin. He plays in fucking.
Yeah,
is that the only three?
Yeah, I think so. Santi Jimenez.
Santi, yeah. Oh yeah, Santi. Which he hasn't really turned up just yet. I think he just needs to be.
Yeah.
I think just play a little bit more consistent starting at the
'Cause,
nine.
I mean, he's been behind Henry Martin for so long. I feel like.
Oh my fucking
Which is
god! He didn't get called
crazy.
up, right?
No, yeah, he didn't get called up.
Oh, yeah. It's
So,
almost
I
like
don't
a
know.
Tim Hardaway thing, bro. I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. And I think that Mexico like has the talent, and it's like such a big soccer culture that it doesn't make sense why they're not any better on a bigger stage.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they're finally starting to realize that they need to pivot to a younger generation because I think they've been relying on.
I think that's what it is.
Relying on,
That's what it
they've
is.
been relying on
Yeah.
the older generation for so long
Yeah.
the Ochoas, the like I say Chicha, but like he's
Yeah.
kind of been out of his prime for a little bit, but like
Yeah.
still like they're not relying on those guys as much,
The
and
like
they're
Hector
kind of
Herrera
pivoting.
too. He had his
Yeah,
prime.
yeah, like they're
Yeah,
going
and yeah,
to
I've
Santi,
been
they're
wanting
going to
this. I've been wanting this for a while. Like with the USA.
the US
Not
just
that
did
they
it.
were
Yeah, they
not that they were bad, but that you saw them go through a transition of like
yeah.
Donovan, Clint Dempsey,
I mean,
Altidore,
yeah, like
all these
and
guys.
it all culminated with the U.S. missing the World Cup in 2018,
Yeah, like
and
that's
that's
what it
when
costed
like
you. That's what it costed
yeah,
you. But look at you now.
and
Like
that's
you guys
when
are, yeah, you guys have some really good soccer in general. I mean, y'all's
yeah,
coach has been kind of an iffy thing between you guys. I don't really pay too much about it, but from what I see,
yeah.
I mean, you have is Reina hurt?
No,
I
Reina's
just
playing
haven't.
like
Oh, he's
Reina,
playing.
like
I just
Reina,
haven't watched games. If I'm being honest, I just haven't watched
yeah,
games.
like I mean, like
Um,
pretty much your whole starting
Pulisic.
11,
Yeah.
yeah, your whole starting 11 is playing in. I want to say almost like for sure playing in Big Five leagues,
Oh wow.
um, except for the right back. Right back's the only one, and that's because our starting right back is hurt. And so you're gonna have no Joe Scally is playing in Germany. Both center backs. You have a center back at Fulham, a center back at Crystal Palace, left back at
Mm,
Fulham. I mean, like just so many guys that are playing in Big Five leagues now.
yeah.
That I think that's the difference right now between the U.S. and Mexico is that the U.S. players are staying in Europe and testing themselves in the biggest competition, whereas like
Yeah.
there's a lot of guys from Mexico that are going back to Liga MX that are just staying there, which is great. Like Liga MX is a good league, but it's not going to test yourself consistently on the best players against
Yeah.
the
I
world's
think I
biggest
think I
stage.
think what it shows is the new generation in Mexico just can't stand being uncomfortable,
Yeah,
being out in Europe. I mean, it's
yeah,
not easy. I mean, there's a reason why it's hard and why it's the one of the best leagues in the world. Why you want to be in Europe, and I mean, God, I hate that I'm fucking quoting my high school soccer coach, but he'd say, I mean, you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
yeah.
You got to find a way to do that. Um, and it's clear what they're doing, but we can't
And
be
I
too
think
upset
too,
about
like
it because they're in
yeah,
that transition phase, like you said. I think this what had
yeah,
to happen. It's
yep,
going on, so it just hopefully just building that culture
yeah.
of. I
And
mean,
you'd rather have it
Edson
happen
is
now
gonna be
than
the one
yeah,
to like set the stone for them, set it for them.
yeah. And I think you'd rather have it happen now than have it happen at the World Cup in 26, whenever it's
Which you
partly
still
in
got some time.
Mexico.
You got some time.
Yeah, you got a
I want
little
to
bit of
say,
time.
yeah,
And then also, I think that like going into guys staying in Mexico or coming back to Mexico, which you've seen with like Eric Gutierrez for Chivas, like he was at
oh
PSV
yeah,
for so long, and then he just
hmm
moved back to Liga MX. Like the pay in Liga MX is so well that like guys are gonna like, are you gonna turn down the money to stay in Europe when you could come home, be close to family, and you're
yeah,
making significantly more than you would in Europe too. So like
yeah.
it's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of everything. So
It
it's a
really is.
complicated issue, I think. But I'm excited to see. I mean, obviously, like I'm Mexican too, so I mean, I support the Mexico just as long as they're not playing the U.S. ultimately.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for it. I think Copa's gonna be fun. It's a lot of football all day. So
yeah. A lot of it. I didn't really catch up on it. Like I said, I really this past year, I don't know what happened. I just kind of like paved away from it. I
yeah,
really didn't watch
uh,
much. I don't know why. But I really want to get back into it. I mean, there's nothing. It's kind of sad. Like I said, I really don't know many of these players how I used to. I don't know if maybe because I just stopped playing FIFA a lot, so I really don't know many of the players
that's
now because of
big.
Ultimate
That's
Team.
big.
But yeah, I just want to get back to seeing some ball. And I'm excited for it, and there's a lot of it going on.
Facts. But all right, guys. I think that's the episode today. A little bit of everything, which is good. It's good
Yeah,
to kind of get back into rhythm, get back in a
back to
routine.
regular episodes.
We're gonna get back into it, baby. We get back into
Oh
it.
my
So
goodness, I think Leody Taveras just fucking homered.
no shot.
I think he just pinch hit home run, bro.
No
I
way.
think he just pinch hit home run.
Did he come in? Who did he come in for?
Yeah,
Grossman?
Leody Taveras homered. I want no. He probably came in for who's batting 3? Oh, Robbie Grossman. Yeah, Robbie.
yeah. He came in
Yeah,
for
and he came in and he homered. So
Okay,
yeah,
come
Corey
on
Seager
now.
took a walk on 2 outs. So let's close it out. We'll
What's
find
the
out
score?
when this is
Is
supposed
it
to.
5-3?
It's 5-3 at the bottom of the 7th.
Let's go. Okay. See,
Yeah.
hey, just get on a run. Takes one. It takes one.
Takes one.
But all right, back to what I was saying, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Make sure you check us out on all of our social medias: Instagram at Austin_and_Ollie, TikTok at Austin Ollie, all one word, Twitter at Austin_and_Ollie as well. Make sure you check us out on YouTube, see our beautiful faces. See that beautiful TCU Horned Frogs shirt that Ollie's wearing. That's mine.
It is.
Um,
Oh, shit.
and yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Tap in to our Apple Podcast, Spotify, all your podcast platforms. Share, subscribe, leave a review there. Tell your friends. And until next week, guys, we will catch you guys later. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Austin Ollie, a sports podcast. We'll see you.
Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.